somewhere about grown-ups.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi there. Who's
Hello.
on? James. Who else was there?
My name is Judy Hawkins. I've just signed up.
Oh, hi, Judy.
Hi.
You're under Annan.
That's correct, yes.
Oh, well done.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Ahmed.
Hi.
Ahmed.
Oh, hi, Ahmed.
Hi, James.
How are you doing?
Hi, is that Susie?
Good evening. If you could just announce your name as you come on the call.
Hi, it's Paula.
Hi, Paula.
Hi.
Daniel.
Daniel. Fantastic. We'll just give and we'll allow some people to come on.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi there.
Is that Norman?
Hi, Gordon. Yes, Donal. How are you?
Donal, how are you?
I'm good.
Excellent.
Everyone have a good weekend?
Yeah, I think so. Shame about you boys getting English, wasn't it?
Start how you mean to go on, is it, Gordon?
Well, you let the Celtic party down, actually, didn't you?
Oh, I'm sure the Celtic party will get back on track.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. Okay, who's just joined the call? Would you like to just announce your name?
Norman Gregor.
Norman.
Hi, Gordon.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Excellent. It's like deja vu, isn't it, Norman?
It is a bit. It is a bit.
Sorry, who else was that?
Who else is... Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Karen.
Decampy.
Decampy, hi.
Hi.
Okay, we're just going to give it kind of 30 seconds more, and then I'm going to kind of start the call. So, welcome to everybody
David
tonight.
Holland.
David, hi. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Good evening.
Excellent. Okay, look, what I'd like to do is, apart from the people that are going to be speaking tonight on the call, and they know who they are, if we could ask all the other callers just to mute their call, so it's star and 0 to mute the call. Star 0.
No, I pressed star the second time. Yes, it's star.
Okay, I still hear some background noise. Can we have star 0?
Star 0.
Star and 0, yeah. Okay, that's it. That sounds like it. Okay, welcome everybody to the call tonight, and here we are again on the second of our 4 training calls that we have for new distributors. And tonight's subject, important subject, and it's all about moving up that marketing plan as quickly as you can to the position of senior direct. And in a lot of opinion of a lot of the national marketing directors, this is the most important position within our business. And the reason for this is several-fold, and I'll explain this in a minute. But for those people that are on the call tonight, I did ask you to download, if you can, the guide to the Juice Plus franchise, Going Fast Track Senior Direct. Also, I've posted up onto the Facebook page a new Aquila training manual, and on page 11, what I'm going to run through tonight is very much on that page, and you can actually kind of go back to it afterwards the call and take it off there, and then share it with your teams respectively. So what we're talking about is the marketing plan here. We all know that we start as a dealer. The next position that we're looking to go up to is the direct distributor, from there to senior direct, and then up to sales coordinator. And at the sales coordinator level, we are actually at the maximum potential for any retailing that we do within our kind of own Juice Plus customers. And that's a position that you want to get to as quickly as you can. But tonight we're going to talk about going to the fast-track senior direct position, because I believe, as I said before, the reason for this being a very important position is probably, 4 or 5 reasons. And the first reason that I see is that, first and foremost, the speed of the leader is the speed of the group. So what you do in your first calendar month within this business, other people will follow suit. And therefore, if you go fast, they'll go fast. And in my opinion, that's really the best way to actually kind of tackle this business. Even if you're part-time, whatever hours you put into the business on a part-time basis, you need to kind of utilize the actual power and the momentum that you can build up. So the speed of the leader is the speed of the group. So by getting to that senior direct position, you're actually going to, if you like, spread that around the rest of the group. And let me just tell you the financial kind of incentive to get to that senior direct position, because that's really the most important thing as well, because by getting promoted, it illustrates to you that the business works. And that's kind of very important, because we talked last week about the importance of having your own product story when you use the products, and that's what you're going to share on a daily basis, how good you feel about taking Juice Plus, the stories that you've heard, anecdotal or otherwise, the science behind it, and that type of thing. But when you actually see your check coming through after you've actually got promoted to senior direct, and you'll know, and the business works for you, and that's very important. The third thing, and really kind of does really come around with that, is the promotion. £430 in your bank account, and I work this out by, if you actually did £2,500 in your first calendar month, you would go to senior direct. At the very bare minimum of 10% commission, you would get £250, and the company will pay you £180 bonus. That's £430. Now, for a business that actually costs you £65 to actually kind of join, plus your own product, there's a fantastic return even in your first month in terms of the business. So it's very important to see the senior direct position as the first stepping stone to move on from there. The fourth thing that I kind of just jotting down the top of my head, it's also the kudos of being further up the marketing plan. When I first went along to my first meeting, I always remember that the person that introduced me was a sales coordinator, and he explained to me how that was the top earning position in terms of retailing. And I thought, well, that's the first position I should get to, is sales coordinator. Unfortunately, I didn't make it in the very initial period, but I made senior direct almost in my first week, and I made sales coordinator almost at the end of my first month. So, it was actually putting it into my mind that I needed to move to that position. And if you see the marketing plan, you're actually halfway up that ladder to National Marketing Director. In fact, you're more than halfway up that ladder to National Marketing Director. And that's very important, because the higher up you go, then the more money you're actually going to earn within our business. Finally, the thing that really kind of wraps it up for me is I think it builds belief in the system and that the system works. And our whole kind of, if you like, business revolves around, sharing the product, sharing the business, going out there and sponsoring people into the program, and then going through the loop again, teaching other people to do exactly the same. The more people that you bring into the program, the more people that get to that position of senior direct, the more people that end up having a check, and that they see it's real for them, the more kind of belief you believe in the system itself. And that's kind of one of the most important, if not the most important thing, that senior direct will actually help you to get started. So if we go to the mechanics of it, and if you've got a pen and a pencil, I just want to run through just a couple of the finer points of Senior Direct. So in the first calendar month, and we all know now it's a calendar month in which our business works. So the calendar month starts at the first of every month, and it finishes at the end of the month. So for people that joined on the 1st of February, the calendar month finishes this coming Friday on the 28th of February. And that's kind of very, very important to bear in mind, because if you joined on the 6th of February, you still only have until the 28th of February to actually make it to that position of Senior Direct. There's no kind of moving that date. It's not as it was before, which was a 30-day period from the time that you started. It was actually now based on the calendar month. But the good news is, if you actually joined, let's say on the 25th of January, because we have this rollover relief, you will actually kind of have the last, if you like, 6 days of January added into your 28 days in February to allow you to get to that Senior Direct position. And this is something that you need to discuss with your upline, with someone who probably got a little bit more experience as to when the timing of you actually coming into the program is most important. So for instance, if we're looking at, say, a new person and they're very keen to get started, my advice would be now, here we are, we're sitting at the 23rd of February, we've got 2 more days until the 25th, and I would actually recommend that we actually kind of wait until the 25th to put in application forms, because it means that they've got 4 days in February and then they've got 31 days in March. The 4 days in February will count towards your volume, and it will be added to the volume that the new person needs to move on to the Senior Direct position in March. So timing is very important. It's something that you need to sit down again, as I said, with your upline sponsor, someone who will actually just kind of advise you the best way to go. But certainly from my point of view, if someone was looking to get started, I would actually wait until the application form changes on the 25th so that I've got that rollover relief ready for them. So in this calendar month, what we're looking to do, well, we're looking to gain £2,500 of volume. We all know that for the Senior Direct and the Sales Coordinator position, we're actually counting what's called promo volume. And this promo volume, irrespective of whether the actual product is actually being paid on an installment basis or a full price basis, the actual full price amount that's allocated to that product will actually count for promotional purposes. So I'm sure we've all been through this, but Complete, for instance, which would be 108 points towards our 2,500, capsules 133, fruit, veg and berries, the premium would be 200, chewables would be fruit and veg 80 points, and soft chewables, fruit, veg and berries 120 points. So what we're looking at is a combination of all those different orders. Now the thing is, the hard work, if you like, is to do it yourself. The easy way to do it is to go and introduce this to 2 or 3 or 4 people that will actually help you to do the volume collectively. And that's what we would advocate in terms of to move forward. So what you're looking to do is to build. The other thing you must do, and a little tick you must have against this, is you must have at least a minimum of £625 worth of volume. And if you think about it, what the company is looking to do is to make sure that everybody is retailing the products along the way and that everybody is actually kind of having genuine customer orders. Because unless we have customer orders, no product will move to the end user and no one will make any money. So we must actually be charged with the responsibility of doing that. And our responsibility is 625. And if we break that 625 down, let's say we all started with premium and a complete order for our own purposes, and I said this last week, you will only retail what you physically use yourself. So the more products you use, the more ability you have to share that information and speak about it, and to share that with other people, and you will actually then have customers. So if we say we had the premium product and the complete, we're actually 308 points towards our 625, and really, if we then take those away, we're either looking for 1 or 2 more 1 or 2 more premium customers, or we're looking for maybe 2 or 3 complete customers. You know, it's It's a very small amount, and that's what our business is all about. It's a lot of people doing a very small amount. So that's the first thing you need to do. If you then do build your business and you have your best friend or a couple of people that come in, the other proviso that you need to be aware of is that no more than 60% of the required volume of £2,500, which in this particular case would be £1,500, can come from one particular line of sponsorship. And the reason for that is that the company want to make sure that we have a balanced business. You know, there's no use actually building a huge leg down one of your lines, if you like, where there's lots of volume coming through. Hey, you'll still get paid on it, don't get me wrong, but it will be out of kilter with the rest of the business that you're trying to build. So, you know, make sure that you kind of balance that up. The 60% rule will be applied all the way through the marketing plan, because remember that the bonuses that are paying out are quite substantial. If you get to National Marketing Director using the Be Independent plan, and you know people are now making this in months rather than years, there's £20,000 worth of bonuses going to be paid out. The company wants to ensure that you're building a solid business from which you can actually build a platform from there. So it's very important that we adhere to all these different provisos. I always like to also think that if you're going to do this, try and do it sooner rather than later. Make sure that you inform the office, make sure you inform your upline that you've actually got this bonus and you've actually kind of been paid and you've recognised it, and that the office recognise it. So send an email into the office, copy it into your upline so that you will actually get that payment on the 10th of the following month. And that's very important to bear that in mind. So, you know, I'm giving you some idea of the urgency that's needed for this, and also, you know, how important it is to actually get to this first position, and what happens within your business. And we're very kind of privileged tonight of actually having a guest speaker on the call, and this particular gentleman needs no introduction, but I will introduce him anyway. Is a very good friend of mine, and his name is Donal Brennan. He is the son of a even longer friend of mine, Damien Brennan, who's been in the business for 20-odd years. But let's focus on Donal. Donal works full-time as a finance manager for a telecom company in Northern Ireland, and he's been taking Juice Plus for over 12 years. So here's the point, you know, your best customers become your best distributors, because he actually only took a franchise out 4 years ago. And it was really when he came to Munich last March that he saw the opportunity of building a really big business using incentives. I'm sure he'll tell you a little bit about where he was last March, but I can't remember him being much more than maybe senior sales coordinator, or maybe even a sales coordinator, I'm not sure. But since then, he's actually gone to National Marketing Director. He did that, I believe, in November, and then jumped up to International Marketing Director. And remember, he picked up the bonus of £20,000 along the way. Then he went to International Marketing Director, and there was a £21,500 bonus for that. Then he actually managed to have 2 National Marketing Directors go within his business. He went to the Executive Marketing Director and picked up another £32,500 bonus. So if there's anyone that I would love to have on the call and to explain a little bit how he managed to use these fast-track senior direct bonuses, because we believe that this is the lifeblood of our businesses. New people coming in, getting to this fast-track position is Donal Brennan. So, Donal, are you on the line?
I am, yes.
Fantastic. Maybe you'd just like to take us through, you know, kind of a little bit of a synopsis in terms of, I'm not sure the position. Where were you when you went to Munich last year?
Yeah, I was that sales coordinator.
Sales coordinator, wow. Yeah,
but I actually had dropped below the requirement, so I had the title, but and I had remained there.
You had to reconfirm.
I had to reconfirm when the incentives first came out.
Wow.
And I had been a little bit stuck as sales coordinator at the time. I was there for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
Right.
Still kept involved in the business, still had great vision. What attracted me to it was the monthly recurring revenue, and but yet hadn't still put my neck on the line, if you like, and actually made that jump forward. And it wasn't until we went to Munich and seen the incentive plan that I actually realised how big this could get, and very, very quickly based on these bonuses.
Right.
So as we had a meeting in Dublin 2 weeks ago, and somebody asked me the same question, and what I said was, sometimes when you look at the incentive plan, the opportunity is so big, it's a little bit overwhelming for some people. Because when you look at it, there's 120,000 in bonuses available, as you just mentioned. Mm-hmm. And at the end of that, then you've got a 4,000 to 5,000 monthly recurring income. So the fact that the marketing plan wasn't changing and this bonus plan was just sitting on top of it, allowing you to build that recurring income quicker, is what attracted me to it. And then I realised, and again another word you used, that there was a huge sense of urgency then. And literally as soon as I got home from Munich, at that time I was an SC, I had to reconfirm, I had 2 SDDs in my business and nobody else at all. And I sat down with the 2 guys and I said, this is bigger than we ever even imagined it was. But again, I explained the urgency of it, and both of them agreed, and we really got to work. And how we got to work was, we said that we'll become our first own senior directs. And so I kind of started that ball rolling straight away from there.
So this was April 2013?
Yeah, started April.
So that was the confirmation month that you guys kind of went out?
Exactly. So I reconfirmed SC by doing the volume for senior direct distributor, and the 2 guys reconfirmed themselves as senior direct distributors by, again, doing the fast track plan. So if you like, one of the things that you mentioned at the very beginning, which you liked, was the speed of the leader is the speed of the group. But also what we have been taught by every NMD that ever came to Belfast or to Dublin to teach us, they've all said that the actions of the leader are the actions of the group also. So obviously the first place that we had to start was we needed to do senior direct distributor ourselves to be able to then duplicate that on with others. Yeah. I guess maybe what might be useful is, how do we approach getting a senior direct distributor? Because as you say, we our business is no different than what you guys are doing in the UK or anywhere else across Europe. Yes, SDD is the most important position, and understanding the requirements are important, but I see the requirements in 2 different ways. There's the requirements as per the marketing plan or the incentive plan, and that is the 2,500 promo volume, the 60-40 rule, and doing it within the calendar month. And they're the requirements of the company, if you like. But then I see there are a whole list of other requirements in terms of what it actually takes to be a fast tracker, and what commitment do you make both to yourself to do it, and then to your sponsor if your sponsor is going to commit to you. And I guess what it really came down to with us was, there has to be a bullet point list of 4 or 5 things that are easily duplicated between everybody, but also that you're starting off at the beginning of the month with your upline, and everybody's on the same page that this is what we commit to doing. So again, we haven't reinvented the wheel. What we've done is gone back to what we had been taught 2-3 years ago and had slightly veered away from, and where we start with everybody is the starter guide, and that is getting the product story, the business story down, that you can, it's no more than 20 seconds long, and that it's on the tip of your tongue at all times. But then also the list of names, and the list of names is at the moment what's really driving our business. And what we used to do with our list of names, the mistake we made was, we got out the starter guide, we wrote down 100 names, and then we kind of had ticked the box and we didn't do anything with them. Or we went and we rang the first 10 and annoyed 10 people who knew that we didn't know what we were talking about, and there was a lot of rejection, and of course a lot of people fell off the plan. So what we're doing now is sitting down with every single person comes in. When you do the list of names, really analyse that with your upline and start to break it into who would come to an in-home, who would prefer a one-to-one, who would come to an event, and then also analysing it out where you said straight away you need to build a team from day one. So really identifying who would just be a product approach, who would be for business, or who would be for both. And when you get down to that level of detail, then you've got a plan of attack. And the next step then within these action lists of ours is that if you're taking 14 to 20 customers to get to senior direct distributor, you must break it into a weekly target. because that consistent behaviour every single week will, again, as the person is doing it and successfully doing it, that's exactly what they're going to teach the next person coming in. So it's important that it's not just a mad rush at the end of the month, that you're consistently hitting targets every single week. Or at least if you don't hit the target, you recognise that at the end of the week and you readjust the remaining weeks. So we use a tracker sheet that everybody can read their own report. They fill in what customers they've got, what value or volume comes from that, and then from that, just divide that by a number of Juice Plus customers. So fruit and veg customers being the average point score. And then
this is the Be Independent tracker sheet, which has got your dream team and who,
Yeah, and using that, and or else we just get them to do it on a spreadsheet, whatever they're comfortable with.
Okay.
But that there is an accountability there, and also as people are doing that, they feel as though they now own their own business. I think what used to happen in the past was the sponsor did too much. So they said, don't worry about the reports, don't worry about counting up where you are, I'll look after that. And actually, they weren't allowing people to feel as though they owned their own business. So when the new person is doing that themselves, they actually then really get the bit between their teeth, I think, and they kind of own their own business and own their own destiny in terms of where they are. And if they're falling behind, they can spot it much, much quicker. And then I think once you have your weekly targets, you can then decide what activity is needed. So what we always do with Fast Trackers is they commit to doing one in-home every week. They commit to going to all team trainings once a week. And then whatever events are on, they commit to going to all of those. And they're really the three big requirements I see from a Fast Tracker. Now, for some people, work commitments, family commitments, that may not be always possible, but at least at the very beginning you can identify that and you can adjust for the person. But in my mind, there are three extremely important things. And that activity will again all be driven from the list of names. So at all stages you're going back to your starter guide.
Great. So Donal, how many people now have you got in your group? So we're looking at April to February. So what's that, 10 months?
Yeah.
So you had three people, including yourself, two others. How many people have you now got in your group?
There's something. I think there's something in the region of around 150 or so.
150 people.
Yeah.
So your system is obviously duplicating because it works, and that's the most important thing. It's finding the thing that works for you most important. And listen, I've been writing down huge amounts of notes here, Donal. I'm picking up as I'm going along as well. But it's what duplicates really does work. And 150 people in 10 months is a phenomenal kind of number. That's 15 every single month in new people coming into your business, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at one stage we ran into a little bit of difficulty, which was around the time of the Nice conference. There was a huge amount of excitement, and people came home and very quickly they got new people into the business and they used that excitement. And actually what happened to us was we were moving a little too fast to be able to keep up with training people. Right. And what we then we really got back to basics again. Halfway through November we realised, that we had lots of new people entering the business, but we were at risk of a lot of people not succeeding. So we really had to get back to basics in mid-November and, kind of knuckle down again and go, right, what has got us to this point? And that was consistently recruiting, yes, but consistently getting results for people. So I prefer, there's no point bringing in 100 people into your business and 20 of them getting promotions. I'd much prefer to bring in 50 and get 40, 45 promotions, or 50 if possible. And really keeping that simple system for SDD is what has worked for us.
Yeah. So just kind of quickly before we finish the call, because I'm conscious of the time here. If there's a person part-time that's on the call tonight and they're saying, well, I can't do all this. What's your recommendation for the part-time people that come into your business? How do you manage to kind of, work it with their in-home commitments, their training commitments, coming to events? What kind of hours are you looking for them to, put aside?
Well, personally, I do somewhere in the region of 2 to 3 hours a day originally. Now, it obviously grows a little bit more as you go, but the biggest thing for me was I used how busy my job was for 3 years as an excuse, and it was a plausible enough excuse for everybody else, but I knew in my own head it wasn't a real reason. So I would say the big thing is make a decision. Whatever that decision is for you personally is fine. You don't make it on what your sponsor tells you or what your upline NMD tells you. If you decide that you want to be an SSC by next Christmas, or if you want to be an IMD by next Christmas, or a PMD by next Christmas, whatever your decision is that suits you, you make that. But once you make it, then really, really, really commit to it. The second thing I would say is, even though you're busy, get to every single event that you possibly can, because the events, the way I look at events is, I'm pretty much being paid to go to them. And I would say that they build your confidence, they also build your sense of urgency within you, and then they bring your team closer together. And the more of your team that you can have every event, the less time down the line that you need to spend, because they're becoming independent every single exposure that they get.
Brilliant, brilliant. Donal, I cannot thank you enough. That's some really, really fantastic words of wisdom there. For everybody on the call tonight, this call is being recorded and it will be posted up tomorrow onto the Facebook Training for Success page. So you can actually download this and actually share it with your team members, because certainly the information that's been shared with us tonight is worth thousands and thousands of pounds. In fact, how many thousands of pounds have you made so far, Donal? No, I'm only joking. But Donal, you've actually kind of really shared some information here that's been which been gold dust for us all. So thank you very much for that, and thank you for everybody attending the call tonight. If you do want to find out some more where you can get some of the information that Donal was talking about, the Be Independent tracker sheet, that's on the Facebook page as well. It's something you can get from your back office. If you want to have a quick look at the bonuses and pin those up to your kitchen fridge, then they're actually downloadable again from the Facebook page and also from your back office, and you can actually get that yourself. So all that remains for me to say is, Donal, thank you very, very much for giving up your time on a Sunday evening, and thank you everybody for kind of joining the call tonight. I hope you feel that's been very beneficial. I know I have, and I look forward to seeing you all shortly. Thanks very much, and good night.
Thank you, Gordon. See you all.
Good night. Good night.